Yo, man. Yo, man, what it is, what it was, and what it be like. Why? It's been a minute, man, but I'm back in this joint. This the host with the most dingy the prophet, man, on this Thursday. They was popping firecrackers earlier, but shit, they ain't popping no more. It's about to be the fourth. I don't celebrate this day. I don't celebrate this holiday. Cause we was still locked up in chains and still slaves and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why black folks celebrate this holiday and why they celebrate all these holidays, because all of them pagan. But hey, I don't judge, do whatever you got to do, but you just got to pay for it, you know what I mean? And that's why the Juneteenth thing, I've been down here in Texas for a minute, since '04. And I never understood the concept of celebrating you being free late when you was already free, you know what I'm saying, before that date, but you didn't know nothing about it. And then when you finally knew about it, you was free. Then they finally did let you free or whatever like that. So I didn't understand the concept of celebrating this shit when they still had us enslaved. But not me, because I'm not from Texas. I'm from Tennessee. But since now I came down here and I plant seeds down here, and my children is born down here. Then this is a little bit of their heritage, a little bit, because they born here, but most of really their heritage is from Tennessee, because that's where I'm from. One heritage is from what, Missouri? Yeah, what's that? Yeah, Missouri, and then the second one is Kansas slash Texas. So I ain't gonna say it could be more relatable to this shit, but they got more of a heritage than I do, because I only been down here. I moved down here when I was 14. Excuse me, north and back. I know everybody sleep, man, but shit, I'm just out here bending and shit. You know what I mean? Been watching a lot of content, and it's about cold approaching. There have been a lot of people online, a lot of females online going on TikTok or whatever about cold approaching, about dudes not approaching them no more, and they ain't got confidence and shit like that no more. I heard a lot of that, man, in person. Cause I know, I like talking to females, so when I see them, my eyes glow up and I just start rapping to them. And they be like, "Oh, you so confident, you talk to me." That's why a lot of times they give me their number, because they say I'm confident or whatever. Like, why they keep saying that for? You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't gonna do no confidence. Just that I just want to converse with you. I want to talk. You look nice right now, and I just start rapping to you and just see if you're gonna pick up what I put down. So that's really it. But they, when I get their number, and they be like, "Oh, you so confident," and then you talk to me. I'm like, it must not be a lot of people that approach you like that. And then when I talked to this one girl, when I got her number, she's like, and man, she was bad too, man. Thick, dark skin. This was at Race Trade, not too far from where I work at. It was on a Sunday, like 2 weeks ago. And she was dark skinned. She like a little bit shorter than me, thick, man, like super thick. You'd think she had a BBL, but nah, you could tell she worked out. It was a real body. Nice ass, man. And I started rapping to her. She was smiling, had that little nice, little soft, innocent little voice. That was my ex had and shit like that. That's how she ended up getting me. And she had that voice too. And I ended up getting her number. She texted me right after that when I was working and shit. And we hooked it up the same night and came over and all that different type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So we went to the park or whatever. And she was saying the same thing. She's like, "Oh, you were so confident when you talked to me, and believe it or not, guys don't approach me, as you think they would, and this and that." Cause like I said, she was bad, man. She was thick, dark skin, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So she was telling me all this shit while we was walking in the park or whatever. I'm like, I heard all this stuff online on, not on TikTok, but these videos was coming from TikTok when females saying that guys don't approach them no more and this and that. They don't have no confidence and shit like that. It's not that dudes don't have confidence in approaching women. It's that they get tired of the same old fucking results. Like, you get sick of that shit. You keep on going to a woman, and we used to rejection. So don't say that it's because we get rejected a lot of times. That's why we stop approaching females. That's not the case. It's just that we tired of the same old games to be the same old things. You know what I mean? Like, you'll go approach a female, and then, because for one, they give us a signal. You know, that's how you know a woman want us to come talk to them. They give us a signal. So they'll stare at us, not stare at us, but they'll glance at us and then they'll look away. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll do some shit to try to get our attention for us to give us the cue to come talk to them. You know, so we'll do that. And I go to approach them as soon as I see them look at me and they look away and smirk or whatever, and this and that, and I go do my thing or whatever. And then 9 times out of 10, you go do that. They sit there and listen to you and smile and laugh and giggle and act like they're interested. And then you done did all that rapping to them just for them to say, yeah, I got a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sit there and wasted all my time. I didn't put all this effort in to give you this tight-ass game that I gave you and shit like that and made you laugh and giggle when a lot of women said they'd like a man for them to make them laugh just for you to turn a nigga down and be like, you got a man. You okay. And then check this out. And then at the end, they be like, thank you. I wonder if y'all guys ever noticed that. Like, when you talk to a chick or whatever, and then after you done did all that rapping to her and shit, and you think that the shit you saying, that motherfucker sound delicious, and then she feeling that shit and she digging and you hitting that funny bone or whatever. And then at the end, she be like, well, I got a man and this and that. And me, I ain't talking about other guys out there, but me. When I heard motherfuckers say they got a man, they lying. I know for one, they lying, or they probably do got one and they ain't about to further, you know what I mean, keep on talking to this motherfucker, wasting my goddamn time and shit. Because if they really interested in you, they ain't even gonna tell you they got a man. Even if they do got a man, they're not gonna tell you that they got a man because they really want to fuck with you. So as soon as they say that, I'm like, okay, they're not interested. So I'm like, okay, have a nice day, and I keep it going. You know what I mean? And they'll smile and they be like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Or they keep staring at you like they want you to keep on continuing. But I cut that shit. I don't play them type of games, but I don't do that shit, man. You know, if you're interested in me, you're not gonna tell me that you gotta do this shit like that. Okay, I get your number, boom, bam, bam. All right, I'll holler at you later or whatever. And I get back at them days later. You know what I mean? But that's how I do it but I know it's different. You gotta hook up fast these days. Cause I noticed that shit I've been falling short. Cause my thing is I get their number, boom, bam, bam. And then I wait some days later to get at their ass. You know what I mean? So by the time all them days done passed by, them motherfuckers, they say they be forgetting. They be like, I forgot all about it. Whatever. They don't be forgetting. Because if you stand out like a sore thumb and say some shit or do some shit that make you stand out, they'll remember. You know what I mean? But, I mean, it probably be a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying? Or they got a lot of things going on and shit like that to make them distracted. So when you do hit them up there, like they forget or you don't draw their interest fast enough for them to respond or be interested in you, so they don't even bother and shit. They don't even, you know what I mean, want to even entertain you and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I wait days later, and a couple of them, you know, they be interested in shit. They'll hit you back up. But a lot of times when you wait them 2-3 days and shit, like, you know what I mean, like we used to do back in the day, you know what I mean? They wouldn't even fucking bother with your ass and shit. They be like, who is this? And then you tell them who they would, they don't even respond back. So I just block their ass and I keep it moving, you know what I mean? But I know now it's quick because, like I told you about the chick a couple of weeks ago that I talked to and shit, you know, right after, because I was working, you know, I was doing my thing and shit. I was going to go get some gas, pump that motherfucker, saw her, bam, boom, did my thing and shit, got her number and shit, jet on off. She texted me right after that. I'm like, damn, she texts quick, boom, text her, and then she like, she want to meet up, cool, bam, went to the park, did all the other shit. Like, damn, that shit was fast. I'm like, damn, these females move fast. She like 3 years younger than me, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, these chicks moving fast these days, you know, because I'm used to waiting for that three-day wall, you know what I'm saying? That 3-day period and shit. Then you get at them, you know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie, I got a lot of shit going on. I'm not about to sit there, be wailing and thinking about no goddamn broad and talking. I got too much stuff going on, man. I got bills to pay like everybody else do, like y'all do too. You know what I'm saying? I'm working and shit. I got my son I'm taking care of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got my goals and shit I'm trying to plan and set forth and trying to accomplish. I ain't got time to be thinking about no broad, especially for a broad that's not even mine. That ain't even my woman. She could be out here entertaining other guys and shit. So why the fuck I'm worrying about her or this broad when she got other guys and shit that's in her DMs or in her inbox and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a busy dude. And females don't appreciate that. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck. So keep it moving. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, man, dudes don't be approaching these girls. We get tired of the same old shit. Cause I was like that at one point in my life too. You know what I mean? Like in my mid-20s to late 20s. Like, man, I kept getting the same old answer from these bras like they was robots and shit. I'm like, man, I'm not even gonna try that shit. Like it depletes you. Like now you won't lose confidence, but like you'll lose hope. Like, man, what's the point, bro? Like, forget it. Huh? What's the point of even going? Because I already know what it's going to be about. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go up there. You're going to talk to her and shit. She's going to tell you the same old story. Oh, I'm out here with my friends. You know, especially when they go out with their friends and shit. Oh, we just coming out to have a girls' night out. We not trying to talk to no guys. I'm like, You're not trying to talk to no guys, but you out here in fucking downtown or Deep Element shit where it's gonna be a gang of guys out here and you dress half-ass naked and shit, you know what I'm saying? Appealing to a motherfucking man and shit, and you trying to tell me that you ain't out here trying to entertain no men, you just out here trying to entertain your fucking girls and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit sound retarded. Like that gaslighting shit is real. Niggas get tired of that shit. Don't nobody got time for that, bro. That's emotional, like that emotional drainage that take away from a nigga. We trying to get our fucking energy back intact. You know what I'm saying? So why would I sit there and drain my energy talking to your ass when I know you ain't gonna give me nothing for give me nothing from it, and sit there and give you all my fucking energy, especially when I sit there and build this shit back up by myself, you know what I mean, with no fucking help from you and nobody else and shit, just to let you fucking tear that shit back down with your rejection, you know what I mean, in your game plan and shit. Niggas ain't gonna fucking talk to you. Niggas ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? So then you gonna make videos like you doing right now, talking about why dudes ain't talking to you, and y'all try to act all fucking naive and shit and gullible like you don't know why we ain't approaching you, because y'all all fucking coming with the same games. It's the same old fucking thing. Yellow, dark skin, brown skin. It don't fucking matter. Y'all all come with the same motherfucking games, bro. And ain't nobody got time for this shit. You know what I mean? We got more important shit. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I don't know what the fuck happened, man. But what I was saying, man. But yeah, niggas ain't got time for this shit. You know what I mean? Like our energy that we sit there and build up by ourselves, you know what I mean? After y'all done tore a motherfucker down and shit, you know what I mean? And we had to build that shit, regain our fucking strength and our energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not about to let you tear that shit back down, because it took a long time and a lot of hard work to get that shit back up to how it's supposed to be. So, you know, a lot of guys, they be like, nigga, I'm not even gonna bother with that negative shit, because I know they gonna motherfucking, that negative energy that when I talk to their ass and shit, they gonna try to transfer this shit inside of me, because energy do transfer. It really do. When you talk to a motherfucker, you get a weird vibe from a motherfucking shit, that shit is seek inside of you. For real though. You know what I mean? That's why motherfuckers get away from certain people that feel funny when they talk to them. You know what I mean? When they interact with them. So when you experience somebody like that, that's the opposite sex, you get tired of that shit when it's repetitive. You know, like fucking throughout the whole day, you'll go rap to like 25, 30 bras and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like out of 25, 30 bras, fucking 26, 28, 29 of them motherfuckers give you all strange, weird ass, same vibration. Man, nigga, you gonna get tired of that shit. That shit would drain your ass. So the next day, when you see a bad bro, cause that happened to me before. Like, I go rap to a motherfucker like 20 bitches a day, and I probably get like 4 numbers out of the 20 bitches. You know what I'm saying? And out of those 4 numbers, only 2 motherfuckers that really fuck with a motherfucker like that. You know what I mean? But think about all the energy I done sit there and converse with and shit like that. That shit drained my energy for all that goddamn same rejections that a nigga got. And then no telling what the hell they came from. They probably talked to some other people before they came and talked to you. And then they sit there and zooted that shit inside of you. Now you feeling like how these motherfuckers feeling a little bit. You know what I mean? If you weak, if you strong, you don't let that shit phase you. But 9 times out of 10, a little bit of that shit gonna seep inside of you, because we still human at the end of the day. And interactions that we have with each other is gonna have some type of effect on you. Some way, some shape, some form, somehow. You know what I mean? So when you, the next day and days to come on after that shit like that, you'll start getting a little drainage. You know what I mean? It's just like working. When you go work and punch in that clock and go do your bid and go do your thing, you know what I'm saying? After you done and shit, it's going to take something from you. It's going to take that energy from you because you don't put your energy into it. The same thing with a female. That's work. Like, I was rapping to this one broad when I was in Deep Element shit. She wanted me to sit there and give her the whole rundown and shit about me. I'm like, my nigga, I just met you. Like, I supposed to say some things that's going to get you intrigued, to perk your ears up like a dog when they interested in shit. You know what I'm saying? You like that shit, you give me your number, and then we sit there and plan a date, and then you get to know a motherfucker bit by bit, pieces by pieces, as the times goes on. You know what I'm saying? If it goes that long, if you still pique my interest or whatever, and vice versa. But you don't. But females want you to just spill everything on the first day, and then you say all that shit on the first day just for them to be like, oh, well, I'm good and this and that. And you like, I told you all this shit, and you don't even fuck with me no more. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, No, nigga, it don't work that way. Y'all moving too fast, man. You gotta be patient, and motherfuckers ain't patient no more. And that's why things be cut off so goddamn fast. You know what I mean? Because motherfuckers just want to give you everything all at once. You know what I mean? You sit there and don't show no anticipation. No anticipation and mystery. People ain't gonna be interested no more. They know everything all about you in less than fucking couple of hours. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of dudes don't approach for real. Like, you know, you females is illogical. Y'all not logical and delusional. Like, just put yourself. I think there was this one video on YouTube. It was a female. She disguised as a male, and she was like, she wanted to see how it feels to be a male in one day, and she disguised as a male. Now it could be fake because, you know, cause this girl, you could tell she was, you know, obviously feminine, how her face looked and this and that, but she had a fake beard and mustache and stuff like that, costume facial as a male or whatever. But obviously you could tell she was female features and stuff like that. But if females just for one day just disguise themselves as a man and go through the day in the life of a man and see how we fucking live our day-to-day life and shit in this world, maybe, I don't know, because, you know, they still females and they gonna think a certain way, but maybe they'll probably see a little bit of what we go through and probably be a little bit more empathetic. You know what I'm saying? They should have a social experiment with kids and see how the opposite sex and stuff like that be treated in this world. You know what I mean? I think there'll be a great social experiment for them to learn about each other, male and female and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these females that's grown these days, they think like children. They really do. Like, they think like high school or middle school girls and shit. You know, and they said females mature quicker than guys. They only mature quicker than guys, sexual wise, so far as their body type. Like they body develop quicker than males. You know what I mean? They mind mature quicker than males so far as sex and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys, we be immature when we still young, so we still do boyish things. You know what I mean? But them, when they hit their periods and shit like that, you know, they experiencing, you know what I'm saying, hormones and, you know, a whole bunch of, you know, and then they deal with older dudes and stuff like that, so they more sexually experienced than us and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that's what they mean by, you know, females are more mature than guys, you know, sexual wise, for real. So their bodies develop quicker than ours and stuff like that, and then they be experienced more with sex and shit. You know what I mean? So, and then it's quicker for them. It's better for them to manipulate dudes and stuff like that. That's why they can get over on us a lot, because they think of as an adult while they kids, but they still childish though. You know what I'm saying? Because just look at them now. They in their 20s, 30s, and 40s and 50s, and these motherfuckers still act like children. It's like that case with Remy Ma, man. That Remy Ma was in court not too long ago with the victim's daughter, that her son ended up killing her father. And I don't know what happened exactly inside the courtroom, but whatever had happened, it ended up spilling out outside the courtroom, and they wanted to fight each other. You know what I mean? And instead of Remy Ma being the mature older woman, they had a son that was guilty of murdering this girl's father, and be empathetic and be like, you know, that's my son. I may support him. He came for me, but he took your father's life, and I do send my condolences to you. Or don't say nothing and just, you know, turn the other cheek and walk away, because she did lose her father. You know what I'm saying? But instead, she wants to sit there and argue with this young woman. You know, she was grown, but she was a younger woman. You know, she was old enough to be Remy Ma's daughter. She over here arguing with her, you know what I mean? And talking about meeting her around the corner, want to fight her. And I'm like, she got the right to be mad. You know, your fucking son done fucking off her father. You know what I'm saying? So let her vent that shit out. Because God, like, what we do? We'll sit there and listen to that shit. We don't want to hear it. But if we understand a person pain and emotion, and we could be a little bit empathetic about it, we'll listen to that shit a little bit, man. But nah, she wants to sit there and argue with her. Like, she the one that's in the right and shit. And she ain't do no wrong. And that's a lot of females in this country, man. That accountability shit, they don't understand that word. That shit is foreign to them. You know, and you bitch ass nigga that be defending that shit, y'all the fucking reason, and y'all part of the problem of enabling their behavior. because y'all don't discipline them if y'all do be in their lives and shit as they fathers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sit there and fucking pander to them, and y'all be weak to their fucking moms and shit. And I noticed that too. A lot of motherfuckers that be married to women in this country, because it ain't too many, especially black marriages and shit that's prospering in this country. But if it is black marriages in the country, man, the niggas are fucking weak. They let the women walk all over them, talk to them any kind of way, use them for all their motherfucking money and shit, and treat them like busters, bro. They not fucking men, like for real, for real. Let's be for real, for real. On the for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? These women be fucking running, and that's why they say America. America is, I think that's a woman's name. You know what I mean? It's named after a woman. That's why it's driven by a woman. That's why everything is pandered to a woman, and they support a woman. And that's why this world is ran how it's ran. You know what I mean? Because everything's off the backbone and the support and the defense of a fucking female. And that's why this shit is falling like how it's falling. And you see all these cases where, you know, with all these females and shit like that, they talking about all this independent shit for all these years, and now they screaming, talking about they don't want to be independent no more. They tired of this shit. They want to bring back that femininity shit. Where you cut that shit out, put your guard down, nigga, and be accepted, and let all that Jezebel and Scarlet spirit and shit get up out of your system, which is gonna be hard to do. A man can't do it. You got to get back right with God. Then everything will be right how it's supposed to be. But you keep on saying F God, because that's what they doing. When they say fuck men, they saying F God. That's what they saying for real, for real. They they not rocking with God. You know what I mean? Because God made man in eyes in the image of his eyes. So if we the first beings to be created in this world, and then the female come after us, why would you sit there and disrespect the first people that was here before you even got here? That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying go around respecting every man, because every man ain't meant to be respected. But I'm just saying when you do see a man, it's a aura, and it's a excuse me, it's background. It's an aura, and it's an image that you see, and it's principles and sights that you see in a person that you can tell, yo, that's a man right there. And you respect that automatically, but they don't. They want to sit there and argue and bicker and buck up to a motherfucking this and that. Man, they saying F God, man. Because look how they do to their body. If they sit there and change their whole body, get all these BBLs and shit, breast reductions, liposuctions and all this other shit, and try to modify themselves, they saying they don't love themselves. They don't love how God made them. So if they don't love how God made them, what makes you think that they gonna love you? You can't love nobody else if you don't love yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our women got self-esteem issues. They're very insecure and competitive and jealous, man. Those are traits from the devil. Like, man, like really go through your Bible and stuff. That's why to be honest with you, just think about it. That's why they don't like talking about the Bible. If you're going to talk to any female for real, if you talk about the Bible and really get in the gist of that stuff and start talking about all the wickedness that they do, and then they got, if you talk about the Bible and all the stuff that they do in this worldly current times that we live it in, and then you start going through Bible scriptures and stuff like that, talking about the women of those times that they was doing the same thing, man, they say hit dogs holler. They start getting mad. For real. You know what I'm saying? That stuff will burn their soul. You know what I mean? Like when you sit there and say Jesus to an atheist or whatever like that, they start getting mad. It's the same thing with these women. You start talking about the Bible and start talking about certain scriptures in the Bible and stuff like that, talking about these Jezebels and Scarlets and Heartless and stuff like that. They'll get mad at you and want to hurt you. For real. So that should tell you something right there, man. They demonic. But if they had the right man, the right godly man in their life and stuff like that, then they'll automatically follow and that stuff will be swiped away. But they don't want that. They want Lucifer, just like it said in the Bible, man. What it said Lucifer about being the most handsomest devil and the most handsomest angel in heaven. You know what I mean? And he was so envious of God, he wanted to sit there and overthrow God and take over his kingdom in heaven and be God. But God saw that, spoiled him, brought him down here at hell, and be like, nah, you ain't gonna be, you can't run my kingdom up here, but I send you down there, you could run down there. You know what I mean? And we end up, and that's why in the world it is the way that it is, with greed and jealousy and promiscuity. I don't name the word. Promiscuous. That's it. Man, that's motherfucker hard to say. That's just hard to say, man. Promiscuous, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And having baby out of wedlocks, which a lot of us guilty of, and I am too. Ask God forgive me for that. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm talking about. It ain't hard for me to take accountability to what I did in my past and what I'm doing currently right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a man and I sit there and face my failures and face my stumbling blocks and try to make better of it each day I'm still living on this planet, man. On this God green earth that we living on every day. But it seems like it's hard for a woman to sit there and say she's sorry for what she did. You know, they'll sit there and find ways around to try to, not even try to, you know what I mean? But navigate their way around saying that they sorry. But man, they don't really be sorry, man. They just trying to get in your good grace so they can do it again, but 2 times worse than shit if you sit there and forgive them. You know what I mean? And that's demonic, man. You know, if you do some wrong, you make right of the wrong that you do. But they don't want to make right or wrong. They do. They want to wait all the way until they get 50, if they live to be that age, 50, 60, 70 some years old, and realize after they've been ran through in their fucking teens, 20s, and 30s in their prime years when they're supposed to be with that one man and have a family with them and stuff like that, then they want to sit there and say they want to find a good man. But you don't sit there and ran a good man off. When you do get a good man, you don't treat him right because you letting the last motherfucker that you sit there get inside your sacred temple, because that's what a woman body is. They supposed to be their sacred temple. That's why they act the way that they act when they have all them different souls in there. That's why it's a reason why God made just one man to be with one woman to be with one man. Because after that woman have all those different souls inside of her and shit, she start having all those different personalities inside of her. You know what I mean? All that DNA swapping and shit. It start really changing her. Because that's kind of remind me of that interview that what's her name? The comedian. Tiffany Haddish. You know, I don't really agree with a lot of things that she say, but I do agree with this. You know, she was saying that, you know, when females be different with different guys and stuff, they start taking on their different personalities and start looking like them. And it is true. They just think about when we was coming out, we used to hang around our friends, right? I remember my one partner, man, I hung around him every day when I first came down here to Texas in Plano. We hung around each other so much that my dad, when we used to come to my crib, my dad like, man, y'all started looking like twins and shit. Y'all look just alike. But we hung around each other every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? So let alone you kicking it with your friends every day, you start looking like them. If you with the opposite sex and you swapping DNA with them and y'all around each other every day and shit, y'all start finishing each other's sentences and all that different type of stuff. She start carrying your characteristics. She start looking like you. That's the person that's the person you're supposed to be with. You know what I mean? But, you know, how this Western society is, a woman do that, they'll finesse you and go to the court system. And damn, they don't even let the child be born all the way and shit and already have your own papers and you got to pay child support. Like, it's ridiculous. There's no way in hell why all these women that you see out here with little bitty babies. I seen one not too long ago when I was at Brahms and shit riding around yesterday. Little bitty babies. You know what I'm saying? And they already single and shit. And when you ask them, yo, what daddy at? The baby look like he about three months, but not 3 months, but they walk around probably like 8 months and a year and shit like that. They be like, I don't know, he ain't this name, you know, that nigga be cheating. This, you know, they already got it cut off. They ain't even in the relationship no more. But like I said, other cultures and shit, they still be together. You don't never find a woman by herself with a little bitty baby and the man don't be around. And if so, it'd be like during the day and shit like that when he at work or whatever. But you could tell that she married. She got her wedding ring on. You go to black female, she ain't got her wedding ring on. You go talk to her, tell her she got somebody, but she ain't got a wedding ring on. And make up every excuse in the world why she ain't married. So, you know, like, man, people got to be honest, man. All women trash, bro. This women in this culture is trash, bro. Like, let's just be honest. They fucking trash, man. It's trash. The dating scene is trash, man. They ain't got no morals, man. Like, they not shameful of what they do and shit. They fucking destroying our children with keeping a man away from them and brainwashing them with their ideologies and stuff like that, and they goddamn toxicity and stuff like that, man. And they worse than the people that we under, you know, because they come from us. You know, like I said on the other live, you know, they all come from our scrotum. You know what I mean? So, y'all dudes, y'all gotta get it together, man. Y'all gotta start putting these goddamn y'all daughters accountable and shit. That's That's y'all problem. I seen that way back in the fucking 90s and early 2000s shit. Y'all do not hold y'all daughters accountable for shit. That's why they think they can go around and do every goddamn thing with no accountability. Now, when they sit there and run against a nigga that don't give a fuck about you being no female and off in their ass, like a few of these cases, like the one down in Georgia. You know, she sit there this I think she was a CO, I believe. And he was an inmate and she was fucking with him. You know what I mean? Now, I ain't saying everybody that's an inmate is guilty, but come on, man. Red flags is red flags. And especially if you in that motherfucker working around this type of environment and shit like that, and you knew what type of cat this is and shit like that, you know what you're dealing with, then that's on you, man. You know, you supposed to know what was up. That's on you. And, you know, and you supposed to use discernment. So she was a CO and he was an inmate. They ended up getting together, whatever. And they end up staying together and they end up doing a live and shit. They was arguing. And bro was going off, she was going off about, you know, they both was, you know, sleeping around and cheating on each other and shit like that. And he couldn't take it no goddamn more after she kept on antagonizing him and shit. And this motherfucker offed her and he offed himself. Or I think the cops ended up offing him. You know what I mean? But you knew what you was getting into. Like, bro, all the signs was there, man. Like, so, like, I don't feel sorry for shit like that. Because these females be knowing what they get into and shit. And they love danger. They love the thrill of danger. And they can't stand a good dude. Because when they get with a good dude, they see all the fucked up shit about their goddamn self and all the flaws about their self and shit. And women love to play the victim role and want to be the good person. You know what I'm saying? So how can they be a good person with another fucking person that's good, that's the opposite sex and shit? It ain't going to happen because a whole bunch of they flaws and ways that's going to be the opposite of that person and shit is going to seek out. You know, so they got to give it somebody that's opposite of them that's bad. Well, they're not the opposite of them. They're really the same, but they play that role because women let you see what they want you to see. They don't show you truly who they really are and shit. You know, in the beginning, they let you see what they want you to see. You know what I mean? I told the female that straight up and she said straight up, she like, I know. You be around them long enough, you'll know they fucking good actresses. That's why they should be in Hollywood. All of them should be in Hollywood because all them motherfuckers some good ass actresses. You know what I'm saying? So they fit for the casting couch and shit like that. And they deserve all the things that happen to them. Because once you play around with motherfuckers that don't play around with you, and you go play around with some other motherfuckers that's smarter than you, you're going to get what you deserve. You know? Because you done played around with a whole bunch of other people that wasn't like that. That was naive to your fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And they weren't in it. Ain't nobody innocent. But so far as having good intentions by doing you right, you did them wrong. So go on that casting couch with all these other motherfuckers just like you. And because they got money and shit like that and a little bit of prestige, you're going to try to put on that feminine role, but they going to get over on your ass because they devilish and shit and do your ass the way that you do all these other people that was lower than them. So that's what all these people in Hollywood are getting right now. It's just all the fucking repercussions that they getting from like Diddy and all these other motherfuckers. They're getting repercussions what they get from doing all these other low-level people that's beneath them and shit, doing them wrong that was gullible and doing their ass like that for these high prestige people that got money like that. And it's more smarter than them and more powerful than them. So it's just repercussions. That's it. It's just karma. That's all it is. So don't feel sorry for them. They just getting back what they getting paid for what they did in their past life. All of them. All of them. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I had to rant about that shit, man. Oh, I was going to talk. What else I was going to talk about? Oh, Canelo. Canelo and Crawford supposed to be fighting. September the 13th, I believe. Yeah, the day Pac died. September 13th, man. So they gonna fight on that day. And it's written, you know what I mean? I think Crawford gonna win. But you never can tell, you know what I'm saying? They make Canelo out to be the good person, you know, the good guy. Even though he got popped with what's that PED? I can't think of the name of it right now, but he got popped with it a few years back and stuff like that, and they swept it under the rug now like it wasn't nothing. So, and then he the bigger person. He naturally fight at 168, and Crawford coming up from 147. Then the last fight was at 154, and now he's jumping up 2 more weight classes at 168 to face Canelo. So I think it's a money grab. I don't think he's gonna fight no more after that, man. He's trying to go and get that big bag and get up out of here, man. So that's September the 13th. Haney and Brian Norman is supposed to be fighting. That's going to be a big one. But I wish Haney would have fought a couple of tuna because the last fight that he had, it wasn't good. Excuse me. It wasn't good and entertaining. So I wish he would have had a couple of more tune-ups and stuff before that fight, you know, because that's supposed to be a big fight for him. So that's supposed to be happening. I don't know what day they said, but I know I saw it on some community guidelines and headlines and stuff like that. So of course I'm gonna check that out. Who was supposed to be fighting? Berlanga and it's a UK cat. Sherez. Berlanga and Sherez supposed to be fighting. I think Sherez probably gonna win that one because he Muslim just like Tariq Ali Sheik. Or Turkey, I said my bad. Turkey Ali Sheik. And the last fight that Sherez had, they said he lost, and it was a gift because of him and Turkey, the same religion, whatever, like that. So they're gonna look out to each other. So he made sure he got that win, so he can fight Berlanga, and it's gonna be for a title fight or whatever. So I think this is written too. I mean, the sports ain't the same like how it was. You could tell like everything is. You could tell everything is fake now. Like ever since that shit been exposed with the Super Bowl and with Atlanta and New England, that made me start watching football. Because I'm like, bro, Atlanta was whooping New England ass and just out of nowhere after halftime coming, New England just come all the way back and just start beating them and shit. And they was beating them by like, what, 40-something points, 30-something points or whatever. That made me start watching. And then the New England Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl game when fucking Russell Wilson ain't had to do nothing but hand off. What's the running back name? I can't think of his name right now. To do with the dress from Oakland or whatever. When he was running the ball down the pipeline all goddamn game and shit, and it was at the 1 yard line, all they do is hand him the ball because he was doing good all fucking game and shit, and get that damn touchdown for them to win. Russell Wilson gonna throw the goddamn ball and throw an interception. I'm like, man, this shit is rigged, bro. This shit was rigged. So ever since then, sports you could tell it just looked like it's fucking fake. And then especially when they came out with WWF and WWE now. Saying that it was fake or whatever, it starts showing now. Now it's just showing everywhere, showing it everywhere. Basketball, boxing, every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's lackluster now. It ain't the same like how it used to be. Even WWF back then, man, that motherfucker looked like it was it looked like it was real when we was kids and shit. Blood was coming down their fucking face when they was getting hit by chairs and stuff like that. It looked real, but as they said, man, you unleash that veil from over your eyes and wipe your eyes from the scales over your eyes, you start seeing the truth and stuff. So ain't nothing entertaining no more, man. Yeah, man. But who we got up in here? Hey, what's going on? Yoki, how you say your name, man? I don't know how you say your name. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. How long I've been on here? For 37 minutes? And I feel like I've been on here for like an hour. I feel like a long ass time, man. I didn't sit there and rant about a gang of shit only for 37 minutes. But yeah, man, I'm about to get back on my grind, man. Brother, going through it, but hey, can't nothing stop me, can't nothing hold me down, you know what I mean? Been through this shit before. Ain't shit changed. Yeah, it's over here, it's 9:28. Yo, man, I'm about to sign up off this motherfucker, man. I had to get a quick little rant, to how I was feeling at the moment. About to go and lay it down. Gotta get up early in the morning and shit, man. Go put this double in. But y'all have a blessed night. And I'm gonna catch y'all on what today is Thursday. I'll probably do a live or probably do a video Sunday. I know for sure Monday. But probably Sunday when I get off and shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have something to talk about. There's always something to talk about. So I'm gonna have something to talk about. So I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side, man. Y'all have a good night and y'all be safe out there on this weekend. All right. 1.